Welcome to Mobile Car Mechanic. Today we're going to show you how to change the oil on this 2016 Honda Accord Sport. This is for the 4-cylinder in general. This is going to apply from 2013 to 2017. Let's get to it. Alright, parts and tools here are going to be a drain pan for the oil and the oil filter itself, a oil filter wrench, a funnel, a 17mm socket, as well as the socket wrench, and either a jack or ramps. Alright, so before we actually do anything, we're going to go ahead and take off the oil cap because it's going to allow the oil to flow out a lot faster and easier. So, depending on if the car is hot or not, it might be difficult to remove the oil cap. If worst case, it's almost difficult to do it to the point where you just can't do it by hand, you can just get a set of pliers and squeeze this in and then turn it. It's lefty-loosey. So now that we got this out of the way, we're going to go down to the bottom. Alright, so obviously you're going to do oil change from the bottom of the vehicle. So you're going to have your oil filter right here, and you're going to have your drain plug right there. You would normally have a cover under here. This vehicle does not, so you may need to pop some clips and whatnot. But what we're going to do is try to get the filter off. Now, I tried to get it off by hand. It will not come off easily. Normally you just hand tighten these things, but we're going to go ahead and use our pliers here. It's going to be a weird angle, but you know, as long as you can get a good grip on it, you know, we're gonna go ahead and keep giving it a shot. You might crush your filter a little bit depending on how tight the last person did this. Clearly I cannot get it off, so I think I'm gonna end up destroying this filter. Okay, so it's just a weird angle, but I'm gonna keep making weird noises here until it comes out lefty-loosey when it comes to this. Ouch. They really tighten this filter on there. It should not be this tight. So I'm gonna try to keep going until I get a good grip on it. And there we are. The problem, unfortunately, with this is that there is a little portion of the block that's in the way, and having the camera in my vicinity is making it a little bit difficult. But essentially, our goal is to just loosen it like a jar. Alright. It should not be this tight. Feels like it's never going to come off, but we're getting there. Don't give up. It is still that tight. I am surprised. They must have hit this with an impact or something stupid. That's so bad. Can you believe that I still cannot get this off? Like, this is actually ridiculous. Oh, don't mind me hitting the camera. Everything's in the way right now. Alright. So I think I'm going to give it one more spin. And I think I should be able to get an oil pan under here to go ahead and loosen it up. Alright, just know that it's going to be messy. And what I like to do is I like to let the filter kind of slowly, I like to unscrew it slowly. so that not all the oil just comes right on out. Now, as you can see, the filter is coming out by hand. I'm gonna have some paper towels in the vicinity because it's going to leak. Okay, I'll put the filter in the pan, and then as you can see, this is where the oil filter will go. We want to make sure that there's no gaskets or anything on there. Looks like the gasket did not get stuck. I'm going to give it a little bit of a wipe down, but we're going to end up putting oil on the seal anyways, so kind of defeats the purpose, but kind of helps with the oil dripping. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the pan a little bit here in this area. May want to have some brake cleaner, maybe not. Up to you. We'll go ahead and put the new filter in place. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and unbox our filter. Whatever filter you choose, it's going to be the same size. So it's this little guy. It's a Mobil 1 filter. We're putting synthetic oil in there. Some people like to fill up the filter. I do not do any of that. I've never had problems in my lifetime. And I'm going to put some oil and around the gasket here. Some people use new oil. For me, I just literally dip my finger in the pan with the old oil because we just want to lube the seal. That's really what it comes down to, so that it makes it easier to install the filter, but also it's not going in dry, creating a problem with the seal, what do you call it, like creating too much friction to the point where it doesn't seal properly. So now that it's oiled up, we're gonna go back up there and I'm gonna hand tighten it. This is my buddy's car and he took it to a shop and they over tighten the heck out of this thing. These are supposed to be put on hand tight because what's going to happen is the heat and cold cycles are going to make it even more difficult to take off the next time you have to do this. So I'm good. This thing's not loose. That's good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the filter out of this thing, the drain pan, and I am going to use the drain pan now to collect the oil out of the actual oil pan. So that's going to require a 17 millimeter. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so we're going to put our 17 millimeter on this. It's lefty loosey. Hopefully they didn't over tighten this like they did the oil filter, but we're going to go ahead and it's usually good to have leverage. It's kind of why I like to use this ratchet wrench. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to hit it with my hand or my knuckle here and just try to give it. There we are. So it's broken loose. Most people like to replace the washer every time. I'd say you're okay for the most part. I've never had a leak because of it, but proper method is to replace the washer. So we're gonna go ahead and unscrew it and kind of keep an eye on the pan. So what's gonna happen is the oil is gonna shoot this way, and then it's gonna start coming backwards towards the front of the car. So we're gonna go ahead and push a little bit on the screw, on the bolt, tilt the pan over a little bit, and that should help you with the oil and make less of a mess. So we're gonna go ahead and drain out the oil. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and dry off this bolt with a paper towel. All right, so this is your bolt, your drain bolt. There is a washer. It's typically recommended that you replace it. I don't have one. I've been fine with getting away with ones, not replacing it without leaks. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. All we have to do is go ahead and tighten this up. And then we'll include the torque specs in the actual video description. So let's go ahead and just screw it in place. And then we're gonna just go ahead and tighten it up. You might want to move your pan out of the way because more than likely you're gonna slip it off and end up dropping your tool into the oil. It's always different. It's always weird right at the bottom because you have no space. All right, so that's in place. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off so it's not leaking. Okay, just make sure you wipe off any oil residue, because if not, you'll probably smell it and you might think you have an oil leak on your driveway or wherever the oil is going to leak. So now that we're done with this, we're going to go up to the top and start filling up the oil. All right, so now that we drained everything out, got the filter changed, now we're going to go up to the top where the oil fill cap is that we took off earlier. We're just going to put our funnel there. This engine takes 4.4 quarts of oil. So we're gonna go ahead and probably stop somewhere around this area. And then once we're done filling up the oil, we're gonna go ahead and put the car on a level surface and check the dipstick to make sure it's at the proper level. Okay. And it's 0W20. That's what it says on the cap. So just make sure you follow what the manufacturer is telling you to do. And we're just going to go ahead and pour it in there. Alright. And just monitor how wet your level is at the bottle. Make sure you don't overfill it, because you don't want to overfill the oil. If you do, what's going to happen is it's going to find its own way out. Your car might run funny, but also it's going to push out of the gaskets and stuff like that, so you'll create yourself an oil leak. Alright, we're getting close, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of inch it now. And just waiting for the oil to drain out of the funnel. Getting closer. Alright. So that should do it. Might have went a little bit over. But let's go ahead and put the cap on. We'll start the car, and then we'll show you how to reset the maintenance light inside the car. Alright, so we're going to put the car in accessory mode. So basically meaning that the engine's not running, but the radio and everything comes on. So what we want to look at is the oil life. Right now it's at 10%. We got to reset it. But if you're not on that screen, make sure you push this button right here until you get to oil life. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold it down and look at the oil life meter. It should flash. Once it flashes, you hold it, you let go, and then you hold on it again until it goes to 100%. There you go. And that's how you reset the oil life. Now we're going to go ahead and crank the car up. Alright, now that we're on a level surface, we're going to go ahead and check the oil level. It may not actually go where you need it to go. We want to be at this line. So it's 4.4 quarts that it takes spec-wise. As you can see, you probably won't be able to really see it, but it's kind of to this dot right here, which is still low. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and top it off until we get up there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and slowly fill it. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and check the dipstick. See if we're getting closer. Yep, there we go. Just need to get a little bit more in there, but it's now at the proper level. So it's kind of hard to see. This dipstick is a bit difficult to read for some reason. And we'll just double check, make sure that that is the actual case and I'm not blind. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty much almost there at the dot. I'll add a little bit more and we'll be good to go. Thanks for watching Mobile Car Mechanic. Today we just showed you how to do an oil change on this 2016 Honda Accord Sport. Again, this is going to be for the 4 cylinders, so it's going to apply from 2013 to 2017. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.